One of the biggest hurdles we run into with our first-time home buyers is that many of them just don't have a down payment saved up. We continue to get more and more solutions to this problem. We have a new down payment assistance program that I want to introduce to you today, and I want to compare it against another one that we have and help you understand which scenarios fit best for each of these down payment assistance programs. My name's Miles Pitcher. I'm the owner of Superior Lending. I've been in the business for 23 plus years. So first of all, DPA, down payment assistance, many of them have common restrictions such as you can't make too much money, you need to be a first-time home buyer, or do they fit in a certain geographic area, county, or a town? Are they forgivable? That's a big one. Do they max out your purchase price? Are they restrictive on your debt ratios or how much you qualify for? And are they favorable towards refinancing? This is a big one. We'll talk about that. So here's our new one that we have. Let me make this bigger. This is a down payment assistance. It is not forgivable. It is set up to be a 0% down loan. So what they're going to do is they're going to combine a conventional first mortgage through Freddie Mac with a 3% down payment. They will only go up to $15,000. So if your 3% of the purchase price is greater than $15,000, you're going to have to bring in the difference. But that $15,000 is a loan. It is a second mortgage that goes on the property, but it carries an 0% interest rate. So you're not required to make any payments. You're not required to, interest doesn't accrue on it. And you're only required to repay that at the time you refinance the property or sell it, or it no longer becomes your primary residence. So that's a big deal. We'll come back to that. You must be a first-time home buyer. And if you are, you have to be over 700 FICO. Or if you're not a first-time home buyer, then you have to fit within 80% of the area median income. I'll paste a link in the description below where you can check your area median income. If you fit into that category, then your FICO score can be down as low as 620. Typically in these loans, we see the seller contribute 3% towards closing costs so that the client really doesn't have to bring any money in at all. So a couple of pros and cons of this loan is that it's great for condominiums that are not FHA approved. So big, huge bonus in that area. Since it is conventional, the debt ratio requirements are going to be tighter than FHA. And then this is the big caution is imagine you do this loan, you buy the home, you have a first mortgage at 97% of the purchase price, and then you have a 3% down payment loan, but it's a 0% interest rate on the property. Interest rates drop and you want to refinance. The lender says you have to repay back that $15,000 loan at the time you refinance in order to do the refinance. They're not going to just leave that $15,000 loan there. It can become a massive hurdle down the road in prohibiting you from being able to refinance. You either have to bring in the cash to pay back the $15,000, or the home has to appreciate enough that you're able to then show the equity necessary to refinance, because most refinances will not go up to 100%. So also let me come back here. One of the issues also we see is this specific program, we find the same issue that we see in many of the state down payment assistance programs like Utah Housing or Colorado Housing, where they give you the first mortgage and then they give you the second mortgage for the down payment. Some of those carry interest rates, some don't, but that refinancing issue exists in all of those also. So to my realtor friends, If you have clients looking at Utah housing, you need to be very aware and look down the road at when this client wants to refinance, are they going to be stuck, and are they going to be very, very upset that someone didn't warn them that refinancing may be super difficult? So let's jump in. Well, let me compare it against our Empowered DPA. So this is one of our other down payment assistant programs. This is my favorite because it gives you an FHA first mortgage, and then it gives you 2 to 3.5% as a gift. When we say a gift, it is truly a gift. It is forgiven. You do not have to repay this. So for these clients, refinancing down the road is a piece of cake. I will post a link to the video that gives you a lot more detail on this down payment assistance, which is a truly 100% forgivable grant. So that's a big deal. Let's go through a comparison here. Here's an example of a $550 purchase price, 3% down payment conventional loan. We're going to use the down payment assistance, which is a 0% loan. We're going to hit the max of $15,000 there. So the client would still need to bring in $1,500. There's our loan amount. There's our interest rate of 6.99 based on today's rates. Principal, interest, mortgage, insurance is going to be $37.49. Obviously, taxes, property taxes, homeowners insurance would be added into that also. Let's compare it against our FHA or Empowered down payment assistance, where we're coming in with a 3.5% down payment, but it's a forgivable grant. So you're going to get free money of $19,250. You will notice the interest rate is higher, 8.25. Therefore, the monthly payment is going to be quite a bit higher, almost $550 higher than the conventional down payment option. However, we'll look at a refinance here in a minute, but I just also like to throw up a comparison of if the client had their own down payment money, the 3.5%, what could they get? Well, it would be a monthly payment $800 cheaper than if they did the Empowered, or if they did the conventional option, it would also be cheaper. But most people, or a lot of people, don't have their down payment. Now, let's say we are 6 months down the road and we want to refi. Well, those who did the Empowered are going to be able to do an FHA streamline, which basically means they're going to float down their interest rate. The majority of all the closing costs with a streamline are covered by the lender, so they really don't have to bring in any money. Based on today's rates, they could streamline down to a 6.25 from an 8.25. Their monthly payment's going to drop around $785, which is awesome. So even though they're going to be paying for 6 months on that Empowered at a higher interest rate, they're going to get $19,250 of free down payment money that they do not have to pay back. So this is a good comparison. I did the conventional down payment assistance. While it sounds good, that client, if they wanted to refi, would have to pay back the $15,000. And most likely within 6 months, maybe a year, that home is not going to appreciate enough to be able to have the equity to be able to refinance. So just be very cautious of that. Empowered remains my favorite down payment assistance program because of the forgivable grant that it is. We can stretch the debt ratios higher, and it's just a really, really good way for clients to go. It's truly free money for them. If you have questions or want us to look at this, these programs are available nationwide. Please reach out. This is how you can get a hold of us. Thank you.